don't know, but what am I doing, dude? I feel like a fucking idiot right now. I think I might need to drink more. Could happen to anyone if you room with them, because I went to sleep with a water bottle on my nightstand, smoking a joint, drinking some water, and then woke up the next morning like hungover and was like, oh, I'm so thirsty. Went to grab my water, and I was like, oh man, I thought I drank more of my water last night because it was all full again. And I was like, oh well, like, and started slamming it, and I got like 4 chugs in or something and was like, oh my god, I don't think this is water. Oh fuck. And I like looked at it, but it kind of looked like water still. David wasn't even in the room anymore, so I couldn't ask him. And then when he came in like 5 minutes later, somehow I didn't even throw up. I just kept it in and just laid back down because I didn't know it was pee. And then he comes back in and I'm like, is that pee? And he's like, that's pee, man. Did you drink it? And I'm like, yeah, I fucking drank it. And I wanted to get mad, like, don't fucking pee in a water bottle when it's just like, why don't you use the bathroom? It was my water right there. Like, come on. But I mean, there's nothing you can do. So I just yelled, I think, and then went to the van and moved on with my life. When I was younger, I pretty much collected pets. I'm super into all sorts of different animals. Then skateboarding came in and my mom was left to take care of a lot of my animals. And I'd love to have some cool reptiles and maybe a goat, some pigs. We've rescued all sorts of things like possums and crows and squirrel. I don't know, raised bearded dragons for a while, and I've had all sorts of things. I was riding rep flow for NHS. My rep, John Crouch, pretty much got me in there, and then I randomly bumped into the creature team in Arlington on their first trip when it restarted, and I gave Al my sponsor me tape. They asked me to ride for them, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do it because I've never quit a company and I was scared to do it, and John Crouch was like, you better do this. If you don't do this, it's going to be one of those decisions you're going to look back on in life and be like, man, I really blew it. So that would have been true for sure. So many reasons. I drop my phone all the time, throw my phone, whatever, just ends up in bad places, and I couldn't afford to be buying iPhones every week. Me and a bunch of my close friends got linked up with Danny Cass. He said he would fly us home whenever we wanted and buy all our beer and weed. I've never piled out like that in my life. We didn't really eat, we just drank, and we had mice in our cabinets of the RV. We completely destroyed the RV. We just lit fires and stand there smoking huge joints, listening to Flower Traveling Band, just nodding our heads. And we broke everything that wasn't absolutely necessary in the RV. Eventually just broke the whole thing down and left it on the side of the road because it was shooting fire out of the exhaust. The headlights didn't work. Our RV had every drug we could think of spray painted like in huge words like all over the RV, and there was beer cans everywhere, and the cops came and we were all underage. We all got MIPs. It was a wild one. The Denver airport's like gigantic, and it was like a 3-mile hike to my gate, and I didn't dilly-dally or anything. I just got there and right when my gate closed, and then you driving everyone back to Portland, and when I was calling you to tell you I wasn't gonna able to get on my flight, you decided not to answer and then told everyone else in the van not to answer me because of some weird vendetta. So I was sitting there. I enjoyed my first day of being pro by sitting at the airport for like 4 hours, missing my flight and sending my bag with all my stuff to where I wasn't there with $1,000 of cash because I just lost my wallet and had to take all this money out of the bank, and I just sent it away. Yeah, good 18-year-old decision. My hips are really bad. I've had bad hips since I was like 15, and I had several surgeries on each, and they're filled with scar tissue and weird bursa-sac tumors that float around. All sorts of bad things been known to like pop out, just death. And so I can't fall like rolls, so I just started like kind of just contorting my body around to slide on my stomach, and it seems to work out. I don't really know how it works so easy, but it just does, I guess. It's up for debate. It can't be proven, but all signs point to me, I guess. When the poop was discovered, I was in my boxers, passed out in a chair in the kitchen, and they couldn't wake me up, I guess. I sleptwalked myself there and sleptwalked myself back to bed, and I had no recollection of anything. I woke up like nothing was wrong, and everyone was pissed at me, and I didn't know why. And I guess I've sleepwalked and shit a couple times after that as well. It's kind of a weird thing. I've never like shit myself. I never shit myself. I shit somewhere weird. That is and don't have any recollection. Dressed as a plumber, budget Halloween costume, and got really drunk and ate some mushrooms. Kind of frazzle-brained right now, probably not doing so good.
How many girls did you make out with on King of the Road?
12.
12?